So after you've created your Seesaw account, you're going to want to set up your class for the first time. So when you log in, it's going to ask you if you want to turn notifications on. For Seesaw, I turn notifications on so that way when students submit work and things, it'll notify me that I have work that needs reviewed and cleared to put on their account. So when you're creating a class for the first time, you're going to log in and it's going to tell you to create your class. You just type in the name that you want your class called here on this first screen. I hit the green check mark. Then I'll choose the grade level. If you do multiple grade levels, I just suggest choosing one in the middle because it's just what will come up in your library as suggestions for activities for you when you first log in. So I'm just going to do third grade for my class. And then when I go to add students, it's going to ask me, do you want students to log in using Google accounts? We don't want to do that. And then it's going to say, are we one-to-one devices or are we shared devices? In our counting, we're all one-to-one. And then here's where we will add the names. So I'm just going to add student 1, student 2, and student 3 for my purposes. You can also paste a list of your students here if you have them saved somewhere. Once you get all your student names in, you're just going to hit the green check mark. For students to log in for the first time, you're going to want to use the QR code here or the code text down at the bottom. The text code expires within an hour, so if you're planning ahead, maybe just print off the QR code, and then when you log in, it'll give you a new text code for your students to use. You can also screenshot your QR code so the students can scan it from your device if you're projecting it. And then I go into settings and change some things once I have my students' names in there. So here's where I could add another teacher if I wanted, if I share a class with someone. Also, where it says students' likes and comments, I have that turned off, that students cannot like each other's things, and also I do not want students to be able to comment on other students' work. But if you wanted that to be able to happen, you just toggle that back on. I do have mine set up that new items require approval, so I have to check the students' work before it's able to post to their feed. But I do not want students to be able to see each other's work. So when I'm having students to submit things, I don't want everyone to be able to see that. So I'm going to turn that off. And you want to turn this off before you start having your class post things to this site. I do want to enable editing because I want to be able to let my students make changes to things they've already submitted. If I was going to give my family access to this, and my family's access in my classroom, so I would toggle right there. At this point, I'm not going to do that. You can also manage folders from here. If I'm going to use this to turn in a lot of work, I probably want to make like a reading folder and a math folder. And I can add different folders there as I see fit for the students to do it. So you can also allow students to add folders, but I like to control that through my teacher, so I have it there. All right, and that's all the settings that I change here when I set up my class for the first time.